Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video request from a while ago, and that is my kind of favorite go-to beauty brushes or makeup brushes and beauty tools and stuff like that. So I don't have a ton of brushes and I'm kind of searching for better brushes, but I will show you what I have been using a lot lately. The cup I have it in is a Luxie cup holder. It comes in two like that and they go together, and that makes it so much easier to travel with my brushes. I've only traveled once with it and it was so much better than sticking them all in a makeup bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with face brushes. Now face brushes is something that I haven't been super happy with my selection as of recently, so I am on the hunt for new, more affordable face brushes. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. I'm really wanting to try some Morphe brushes, so if you have a favorite face brush from them, let me know. But as far as foundation goes, if I'm going to use a brush to put it on, which I don't usually, I really like this e.l.f. blending brush. I don't know, it's not blending brush, I don't know what it is, all it says is e.l.f. But just so you know, all my brushes are dirty. I just filmed a makeup tutorial and I just decided to go ahead and film this while I was at it, so I just used a lot of these. But it is a pretty dense brush, really good for blending in. It's just, and I also really like blending in my concealer under my eye with this. But if I'm going to use, or if I'm going to put foundation on, which I do pretty much every day, I prefer using my Real Techniques my Real Techniques complexion sponge. That's what it is. I just like the way it applies better. But sometimes I don't feel like getting up to get this damp, or I just feel like I need to mix it up, so I will use this e.l.f. brush. Another e.l.f. brush that I like to use, this is the e.l.f. blending brush. That's why I don't know what the other one's called. It's short, you can see, and it's kind of like a big fan brush, but not. Like, I wouldn't ever use that as a fan brush, but what I like to use this for is to contour. I tried their contour brush like this and I don't like it for contour, but and I tried this one as like putting a foundation on because it's a blending brush, and that didn't work, but I find it works really well for contour. I can get a pretty defined line if I want, or I can do a more subtle contour just by turning it a little bit, but I do like this for contour. And then for blush, I've just been using the e.l.f. complexion brush. I've had this one for a really long time. I don't love it for blush. I'm definitely looking for a blush brush, but of what I have, this one works the best. And then this is probably my favorite face brush. It's the Real Techniques contour brush, and I don't use it for contouring. Maybe I should try that, but I use it to set my under eye area if I'm not going to bake. If I bake, I use just my sponge with the pointed end, but if I just want to set it with powder, I do that. And then I also use this to highlight. I just find it works really well. I was using a smaller brush, the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, and this was just giving me a little too harsh of a line. So I've just been really liking this one because it's just fluffier and I don't have to do a ton of blending, but it won't look like it's just a streak. So that is all I really have for face brushes. Please give me suggestions down below. And then just really quick, other not beauty or makeup brush tools. My tweezers are just the Revlon cheap ones. They're just silver. They have really fun fancy ones, and those ones are too expensive. These ones are probably less than $2 and I really like them. I've got a couple pairs. And then for eyelash curler, the only one I have is an e.l.f. one, and this is, I don't think they make them like this anymore, but what I usually end up doing is buying a new one since it's only like $1 and then just replacing the sponge. But this one I think is on its last leg. Something popped in the mechanism a while ago. It still works, but I think I'm gonna look for a new one. Looks like I forgot one face brush. This is the pointed foundation brush from Real Techniques. It's just a small foundation brush. And I just started using this to like put my foundation on, and then I go in with my beauty blender, because before I would just kind of dump the foundation on my hand, but I felt like I was losing a lot of product that way. So I just kind of do lines all over my face, down my neck, and then I go in with my complexion sponge and blend it all out. But that is it for face brushes, and then for eye brushes I have several. We'll start with this one. This is the Sigma Large Shader E60. It is really quite large. It was bigger than I thought it was going to be. See how it takes up like my whole eye? And I was going to return it, but then I decided that if I'm going to do like a wash of color on my eyelid, then this would work really well. And I have been liking it for that. Sometimes in like the Makeup Revolution palettes it doesn't fit. Like it's a little harder to use in this because it's bigger, but I really like it like in my Morphe palette or just something that's got a bigger pan. It fits perfectly, and then I can just sweep it all over the lid. So I do like this one. I don't use it a ton, but if I just want a wash of color, it works really well. And then a couple more Sigma brushes. I just recently bought some Sigma brushes and I've really been liking them. This is the Tapered Blending E40. And I just use this transition shade and blending out the crease. I never put dark colors on this brush. I always use lighter ones and then just blend. But I really like that one. And another Sigma Small Tapered Blending. It's the E45. This one just works really well to get like a precise, I don't want to say line, to get just you can set down your product pretty precisely with this in the crease if you're going in with a really dark color but you just want a thin line to blend out. I've really enjoyed that. Another Sigma one, I think this is the last Sigma one. This is the Flat Definer, the E15. Just your basic flat brush, but I use this to get right into my lashes with shadow and even to set when I put liner on the waterline. I'll go in with a powder that matches and just kind of set it. And then this came in my Ipsy bag. I think it's Crown Brush. It's a dual-ended. You have a fluffy, let's see, it says a Shadow Crease Duet. The number it has is AC012, I think. So you have a fluffy brush on one side and a pointed, I use it more as a pencil brush, but you could use it in the crease. I use the fluffy side more. I really like just using kind of a vanilla shade when I just put that all over the lid up to the brow before starting. It just covers it really well and it's easy just to blend it out. Another one from my Ipsy bag is the Luxie 205 Tapered Blending Brush. I actually have two of these. I didn't like it at first, so if you have this and didn't like it, just try breaking it in, because when I got the first one in my Ipsy bag, I didn't like it, but I kept using it and started to really like it. So with Ipsy points, I bought another one, and it was the same thing. I was like, why did I get another one? This isn't the same. I don't like this. But as soon as I had kind of broken it in, I do really like this for a crease brush. Then another crease brush. This is the Domed Shadow Brush from Real Techniques. I use this one for transition shades sometime, especially when I'm using ColourPop shadows. This brush works really well. Sorry about, I've got the blinds open right over here. That's why there's lines sometimes. But it's a little stiffer than like the E40. But this is just like my go-to for ColourPop shadows, especially when I want to put it in the crease. And I've got two more. These are both Eco Tools and they're double-ended. I got them at Walmart, I think. But the sides I like are the eyeshadow sides. The other sides are like a angled brush, which I don't like at all. And then just another fluffy brush. Sometimes I use it, but I don't reach for it. But I do really like the shadows. This, you can see this one is shorter and this one is longer, but they're both really dense and really good for packing on color, especially the taller one. And then what I'll do with the shorter one sometimes is go in like on the edge of it and put shadow beneath or smudge out my liner. But I think that is it for brushes. Lots of eye brushes I like I said, not a lot of face brushes. So if you have any comments on brushes I should try, please let me know, because I really want to get new face brushes. I just don't really know where to start. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful to you somehow. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more makeup videos. See you next time. Bye!